Alright guys, I'm going to see if I can give you one more thing to look at here. What I'm doing in this operation, I'm doing three different things. I'm trying to get the back check, which is this piece, to catch the hammer at a particular height, right there. I'm also adjusting the drop screw, which is this little guy right here. And he's adjusted right here, and that regulates, when I release it, how far up it goes. And the third thing is the spring tension. There's a big spring right here running from here up to here to a coil and then back up under here into a slot. This is called a butterfly spring. And that tension, if it's too strong, makes the hammer bounce, and if it's too weak, the hammer won't rise at all. So there's a sweet spot to be found there, and that has a lot to do with how the piano feels. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to see where it checks. Whoop, a little too hard. Right there. That's pretty good. I'm going to bend this backward just a little bit to get it to check a little lower. That's too far. That's just about the sweet spot, right about just a little shy of where the red felt ends. So you can see better than the action model I showed you a while ago, this jack gets out of the way in time. So I hold down the stroke, and then if I let the key halfway up at the front, then it'll rise. And I'm going to adjust the drop with this little tool right here. This just goes over this little spade, and I can run that up or down. And I'm going to put it right about the top spot where it trips is called the let off, and where it comes back to is called the drop. So I'm going to adjust the drop based on the let off. The let off is where I want it. The drop is a little too low. And I'm watching the bouncing of the hammer, and I'm also feeling it in my left finger, which is playing the key. So there's a combination of sight and feel that goes into this. If you do it often enough, you get just the right spot. That's exactly the right feel, what I want. So now it checks where I want, it rises to where I want, and now I can adjust the spring. This is a spring tool, especially for piano technicians. It's got a little slot cut in it. It's at an angle, so I can get between here and work between the keys without having to take everything out. So this spring, I'm just going to pull out, let you see what it looks like. There's a little hook there, and there's a slot under here. So I'm going to pull it back here and sort of essentially just tighten up the coil in here and make it a little too strong. And then I'll just put it back in there, maybe. And then I'll play it and watch how it bounces. Well, maybe I will. Oh, it's not in the slot. Well, that would be helpful, wouldn't it? Went out the other side. So I'm going to take my tool and go back over here. Now he's in the slot. Now here we go. See, it bounces way too much when I let loose of it. It bounces like crazy. So then I'm going to go in here and right up against the coil and make the spring weaker. Weaker yet. Still bouncing too much. Now it barely moves, so that's too weak. See, so I had it surrounded. Now I'm going to pull this back out just a minute, and I'm going to bend it just a tiny bit to add a little more tension to that, and put it back in there. That's a little strong. That's getting really close. That's what I want right there. It rises, but it doesn't bounce. Maybe just another smidgen. This is something that has to be repeated for all 88 keys. So it's tedious and it's time consuming, but in the end, you have a very consistent feel to the piano. So now I have my checking where I want it, I have my drop where I want it, and I have my spring tension where I want it. And it feels wonderful at the front of the key. Thanks for watching.